Pokemon Winds and Waves is going to give us some brand new evolutions of current existing Pokemon. We have had many leaks about this recently, and this specific leak that we're going to cover today shows us a list of some awesome Pokemon, and some of these, man, they would just be absolutely amazing. But specifically, we're going to go over these Pokemon right here on this list. Tropius is such an awesome Pokemon, and honestly, I feel like underrated. I feel like recently people have really been loving Tropius, so here's actually a baby evolution, a pre-evolution of Tropius. I think this is just the cutest thing ever. I could imagine myself buying a plush and putting this right on my desk because I love this design.
The fact that we don't already have something like this kind of blows my mind, to be honest. And with the fact that they had Tropius kind of front and center in that first trailer that we got, I feel like something like this makes sense to be in this leak, because I definitely think it's got to be in the works at Game Freak.
And now this design is actually the third stage evolution, and look how colorful this is. This will be perfect for a tropical region, so it actually gives it the glazed banana, which is so hilarious. I think that attention to detail and like the focus on that banana is perfect for an actual evolution of this Pokemon. Like I said, I think the colors of like all the flowers blossoming, you know, like the leaves and stuff changing colors, I just think it'd be great. Once again, plush, I need it.
Yeah, bro, this thing looks absolutely insane. I think the dragon type 100% needs to be added to this thing. This one kind of gives me Mega Evolution vibes. I can't even lie. It definitely has that type of feel to it, but yeah, overall, crazy looking Pokemon, and the glazed banana thing is even crazier.
Here is a pre-evolution and a third stage evolution, which, dude, once again, emphasis on the banana and emphasis on the additional colors. And bro, look how cute and derpy the first stage evolution is with like a peeled banana over it. That is so funny. Corsola is already a really cool Pokemon, and this evolution goes crazy because it turns it into kind of like a Torterra-like Pokemon, where it basically has like an ecosystem on its back. You can see a bunch of love discs, you can see Staryu on this, and bro, the coral, the reef, I just think it's awesome, and this would be a big Pokemon. It's Corlosis, so this would probably be the size of like a Whalmer or something like that. Arbok has been eating something, some sort of regional variant, an evolution, a mega evolution. So this is actually the sprite style, which I just couldn't find many new ideas out there, but this is awesome because it's actually kind of like a mix of a regional variant as well as an additional evolution. So we got Ekans, Arbok, and Soroboro. You could definitely see the different colors and stuff for the regionals, but Soroboro is the one that we're actually going to be focusing on. And this design is awesome. So it turns it into more of just like a regular snake, which I know kind of doesn't really fit the vibe of Arbok, you know, specifically being like a cobra, but I think it's really cool because Ekans is just like a regular snake, right? And then Arbok is a cobra. So I feel like it's not too far-fetched to say that that third stage evolution is just going to be a different type of snake.
Yeah, bro, and I also think just the dragon type being added to this thing. You guys know I like the dragon type, so I always can't complain with a psychic dragon type. Also love the sprite style. It reminds me of Gen 5. Super clean design. I like how he's got the kind of, I guess, eye-looking things on his back. He's got the kind of orb on his head. It emphasizes the psychic type. Overall, very clean design.
Chatot, man. Chatot, one of those weird nostalgic Pokemon for no reason for me, but obviously he's a music Pokemon, so he would have to have something musical for his evolution. So this is Condorot, a flying and a fairy type, which I think is very fitting, honestly. And if we do get that sound type with, you know, DJ Rotom and stuff, that would be really fitting to get a sound type Chatot, but Chatot would fit perfectly in this region.
The flying fairy type is definitely a unique type. I think it fits well for this Pokemon. I think it's funny how his head kind of looks like a music note, that kind of, I guess, feather on his head. He's got the kind of composer stick. I don't really know what to call it, but yeah, overall, the bow tie, I think all the design elements on this thing just fit really well.
And here's another evolution where you can see his chest looks like a heart, and his beak kind of looks like a speaker, like a trumpet in a way, which I thought was really cool. And I think these colors kind of fit the regular Chatot a little bit more, but such a cool design.
This guy looks like a hornbill, which is a real bird in real life. It looks like kind of a, I guess, toucan with this kind of horn looking thing on its head, especially for Pokemon Winds and Waves, because this region is meant to be based on Southeast Asia, where they do have these birds in real life. So if they do make something like this, I think good attention to detail and very creative.
Lumineon. So Lumineon, believe it or not, was actually one of the first like leaked Pokemon to be in Generation 10, and I think a new evolution of this Pokemon would be absolutely perfect. So the third stage evolution kind of looks like a seahorse in a way, but still has that lionfish design coming out of like the head, which is really interesting. I think this is cool. This gives me like water fairy vibes, maybe.
Yeah, water fairy or water psychic, I'm thinking, but this is kind of like the Lumineon equivalent of like Milotic. I think this Pokemon just looks so cool. I would love to see it, and what better game to give it to us than in Pokemon Gen 10.
This is another design of an evolution of Lumineon called Quinion, and this is a brighter design. I think it's really cool. So this game, we know we're going to go underwater, like real underwater exploration, like just how we were in Gen 5 and like Gen 3 and stuff. I feel like seeing this Pokemon glow, because we are going to have like better glow graphics in this game, like things are actually going to be really glowing, if that makes sense. I feel like this would be awesome to make Lumineon even brighter, because it already does glow. I mean, Lumineon, already part of the name, you know, like light. So I think that would be really cool. Claydol is next up. So Claydol, I feel like, is an interesting Pokemon because no one really talks about it, but I feel like a new evolution would actually be really good for this Pokemon. There aren't many out there, but I thought this design was very interesting because it still looks like Claydol, but just has a new body style to it.
Yeah, Claydol is one of those Pokemon that I feel like it's so slept on. Like, who actually thinks about Claydol, use it on their team? I'm sure some of you guys, but probably not a whole lot of people, so I definitely would love to see Claydol get something like this, get more people talking about this Pokemon. If something like this happens, I think it should get a new type, Cosmic type. That would be crazy.
Liepard is a Pokemon that I feel like would have a really cool Mega Evolution, but just getting a regular new evolution for this Pokemon also would be really sick. So this design really stood out to me because it has a different color and it has like a dark red flame to it. So this is like dark and a ghost type, which honestly is pretty fitting. I really like those types together. And this Pokemon is awesome. I know people love the cat Pokemon and the dog Pokemon, so any love towards any of those would be awesome.
Yeah, I definitely like the ghost type for this one. It kind of gives me like Hisui and Zoroark vibes. Very sick.
So Crabrawler is definitely an interesting Pokemon, but I feel like this is awesome. Look at this. It's a fighting and a dark type, which, bro, the fighting type is awesome. And like we've said a million times, this region will be based like on the water and the beach, you know, very tropical. So obviously a crab Pokemon definitely needs to have some sort of new evolution or some variant at the very least. This just was really fun to look at. Now we are actually moving on to some of my favorite designs in this entire video. So this is a Magcargo evolution. This is Escargent, and I think this is so dope, bro. I love how old he looks because he definitely looks like he aged a lot. He has like a beard growing. He's a slug with a beard. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? But it looks like a ginormous cannon or like laser beam on his shell.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's pointing a sword forward, and he's kind of like some super old-timey like military sergeant. I think that's just creative design on this thing.
And this one goes crazy because it actually gives him feet, which I would have never thought of for a slug Pokemon, but I actually really like it because to me it kind of gives it dinosaur vibes, like a fossil Pokemon kind of feel. And he still has the big shell. He still looks like a slug, still has that fire type, and he's a dragon type as well. I love this. I think this is awesome. Carnivine, let's just go with the baby evolution, bro. A pre-evolution for Carnivine. This is a cute little guy that would probably sell like 1 billion plushes out there. Like, let's be real. Ariados is one of those Pokemon that I know people love, and I think a new evolution or just some type of love with this Pokemon would be great. So this design is so menacing and so awesome because it still looks like the regular version of Ariados, but just with a bunch of additional features. And I feel like it's pretty fitting for this region, especially since there should be a little bit of Australia. So obviously Australia just has some crazy insects down there. Mienshao is awesome, and this design is so sick. I love how he still has like the flowy accents, and I just love the colors on this. Mienshao, I feel like it's kind of slept on. I feel like it is not talked enough in the Pokemon realm. And then this design makes him kind of look like a dragon, even though it's a psychic and a ghost type. I just thought this was really interesting because it totally changes the look of this Pokemon.
Going back to the other one though, I feel like also just the same thing you said with the flowy kind of elements. This guy kind of looks like a fighting psychic type. Very cool Pokemon.
Dhelmise actually has a ton of super sick concepts out there, and this one is a pirate ship. How cool is that? So you can see the anchor design still on the front of him, and it's kind of like half of a pirate ship. I love how all like the flowy green accents kind of just look like algae, like it's been underwater for 100 years or something. And it's a grass type, a grass and a ghost. How insane is that?
Very sick design as well. I'm a big fan of most of these this video, man. I think these are all really cool designs for some sick Pokemon that definitely all need evolutions.
And this is just another ship design, but it's a little bit different, so I figured I'd show you guys this one as well. And now we have a male Salandit evolution. This was really cool because it's actually based on a sea bandit, which low-key fits in with that Dhelmise evolution with a pirate ship, which is kind of funny. And this one you have to evolve it on a boat, like a cruise boat or whatever, which makes sense. There probably will be a lot of boats in this region, but this design is so cool. I love how his tail is like the sword, but he also just uses that sword, you know, to battle and stuff. It's super cool.
Yeah, this one is sick. Also, the poison water type I think is very creative. Super cool Pokemon.
If you guys are around watching this far in the video, comment down below your favorite ghost type Pokemon of all time. Make sure to check out Nintendo, soon to be Jzard, in the description down below. Make sure to turn on the post notifications. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Some